Hey guys, Brian here with SGA. We are out here at A.H Stephens State Park today. We're going to be doing a little filming and doing a little touring of his house and just the area around and some of the park itself. But there's a statue behind it. That is his house back behind us there. And actually his grave site is right to the right of me right here. We're going to take a look at that and just kind of take a tour of everything, and I'm going to be talking just a little bit and see what we can get ourselves into today. Here we go. So here's a close-up of his statue right here. A little bit about him. He was the Vice President of the Confederate States. He was a member of the House of Representatives. He was a U.S. Senator. He was the governor of Georgia. A little bit about him and his history. Right here is his tombstone. That's his brother right there, his younger brother. We're going to walk up through here. A.H Stephens Park is It's a beautiful area. It's located here in Crawfordville, Georgia. This park offers a wide range of activities and just a tribute to his life and historical figure. But this is the grounds. From my understanding, he did donate that property over there for that church years ago, so that's a very old church. I'm going to just walk around the house. The park is actually on about right at 1,800 acres here. And it does have hiking trails and things. Like I said, it does have equestrian. Has, I think, 3 or 4 different riding trails that you can go on. I think this house was built somewhere else and they had it moved, from my understanding. I think they built this part right here later on, and I think this is where he stayed later on in life, down here, because it's too hard for him to get around inside the house. I think there's a library. You'll see video of that in all of this. We're gonna walk around here, around the grounds. I think this is the old kitchen area. This was added on years later. This is the new kitchen area, or where they prepare food. But he did stay down here. Later on, you'll hear a lady speaking about that in some of these videos that I have. This is where the folks stayed. I think his caregiver, and I hate to say the word slaves, but this is where they stayed. You'll see parts of those videos as well. Right here is a 360-degree view. That is the museum up there. You'll see videos from that. I think they said his dog is buried in the back there somewhere. I think back here in that back corner right there. Yeah, right there. Back in that corner. A lot of history here. That is a cool tree. Yes, they moved this house, I think in 1840 something, and moved it here. And I don't know how you move a house this big. And being olden days, and refixed up the inside and everything. So here's a little plaque. So that's Mr. Stephens right there. I think this was when he was younger. This family right here lived in there. There's an aerial view of property, some of the rooms. You'll see a lot of these in this video. It's amazing how pictures that old looks like. It's taken yesterday, but just in the old time setting. Well, guys, we are at the campsite now. I'm gonna just kind of pan around and show you just a little bit of this. These are the camping sites. We're gonna take a look at that real quick. This is a big part of the park for equestrian. They do have trails that lead back into the woods for that. But this is where the campers and kind of campsites are set up. Straight across over there is where the horse stable and stuff like that is. But this is a big equestrian park and everything. So we're gonna take a look at these other areas. We're gonna ride over there. I'll pick back up here with you in just a second. So here's one of the stables. They do have another stable on the other side of the park, but pretty nice. Like I say, this is a campsite slash horse stable area. They do have multiple areas for campers and your horse trailers, if you will. But this is one of the stables, if you will. They also have these nice cottages that you can rent as well. You can see the lake in the background. They actually have a group area on the other side. We're going to take a ride over there and take a look at that here in a few minutes. But these are the cottages, and like I say, they are directly on this lake right here. We'll go check some of the other areas out. So here's another cottage right here. This is cottage number 4. I think there's 4 on this side of the lake, but like I say, you can see the lake in the background. Probably be very quiet. Enjoy, relax. Here's another part of the lake. You can see cottages are right over that. I'm not sure how big the lake is or anything, but it's a good sized lake though. Pretty nice. This is the fire tower. You can see that they're in the process of remodeling or redoing a lot of the park areas. This is a pretty big campsite right here. So So they are upgrading and redoing a lot of stuff. Pretty nice. I wanted to show y'all that today. Pretty cool place. So right now we're walking down here to the little lake. So they do have little paddle boats. I know there's one area that you can fish in. I'm not sure if you can fish in this one. But I do know that there are areas of the park that you can fish in. It's a nice little area. Big old pine trees. Alright, well, we're gonna head to another part. Catch back up here with you soon.
You'll see that in the wallpapers and the carpets. You see his top hat over there on the dresser. And then here you see a picture of Linton. This is the half brother that helped him oversee the place. And then you got Stephens there. Now, even though Stephens had a lot of ailments, he lived to be 71. And then Linton, of course, died at 49 years old. So he kind of, died young. Then you see a box of pictures on the couch and a little machine stereoscope or stereo graph. They would put a picture up, look through it, and make it look like 3D. And then above the mantle, you'll see a sword or saber from the War of 1812. And that belonged to his uncle, the gentleman there in the picture by the doorway was his uncle, General Aaron Greer. On the wall, those were really Mr. Stephens's. A good friend of his painted those, and that's exactly where they were hanging when he lived here.
So he was wheelchair bound.
He ended up, he was walking on the plantation one day when he was in his 50s, and they were working on a big heavy wooden farm gate. Somehow that gate fell on his hip and crushed it, broke a lot of bones. And then the window shades are hand painted. They said that was something typical they did back in the 1800s. And a lot of lacy things were in the ladies' room. They said lace was cheap and plentiful back then. And then you got a picture over here of the big man Robert Toombs. He was his good friend from Washington, Georgia. He was a lawyer. And he has a house in Washington, Georgia that you can tour, the Toombs house. It's on like the main street over there. So they were good friends, practiced law together. And he has a room upstairs he would stay in when he visited.
We're upstairs now at the moment. All through here. Very cool. I'm going here to this other room.
And then you have a postcard there of Thomas Jefferson's home. They're showing the ladder. They say that ladder and this one are the same. And it's called a pole ladder. and it folds up into a single pole.
Oh, wow.
Yep, you're not going to believe how it folds like this. It's simple. Folds right up. And they say that one and this one are alike, and they're thinking he designed it, you know. So I said he probably did because he's a great inventor, you know. And actually, Stephens decided when he bought that house in 1843, lived in it to 1883. His bedroom's down the stairs. I said probably because he was crippled and disabled, he would have stayed down here.
Yeah.
They said, yeah, that's right, because he'd have had to have somebody carry him up the steps, you know. I said it was probably easier for him to stay downstairs, you know. Stephens had a lot of history books, religious books, poems, war books, of course. And originally he wanted to be a preacher. He was very good at it. Really, that's Mr. Stephens in here is going to be the wheelchair, and then of course the statue.
Mm-hmm.
And they said whoever did some of the carvings on Stone Mountain also made that statue out of plaster.
Oh, wow.
And
Wow.
they painted it with a bronze paint.
All right, guys, we're closing it out for today. I hope you enjoy this video. Be looking for other state park videos to come out soon. A lot of history here. Hope you enjoyed the tour. I'll see you on the next one.